As I made my way to the health center for my daily dose of drugs on the morning of Wednesday, October 10th, 2012, I had one thing on my mind. Damn it! I forgot to do my English paper again, and Miss Perkins is going to kill me. That was the only thing I was worried about. The biggest battle for that day was going to be with Miss Perkins. I'll take it. But as I stepped through the health center door with a cup of coffee in one hand and a bagel in the other, I found to my surprise my advisor, Willie, waiting in the hallway. All right, new thing to worry about. He is going to yell at me for taking a coffee mug out of the dining hall, again. But oddly enough, he didn't say anything about that. All he said in a somber tone was, "Come with me." He then led me into a private room where a nurse was waiting for me. All she had was a phone. I asked what was wrong, but he wouldn't tell me. I assumed I was getting in trouble for something stupid I had done. But all he said was, "It's your mother." I sat down in a chair, took the phone, and put it to my ear. Before I could even say hello, I heard my mother's hysteric voice. "Harry?" she asked. "Yes," I said in a confused tone. Dad died last night. His helicopter went down." Right then and there, for the first time in my life, I felt completely helpless. I couldn't control the overwhelming emotions I was feeling. I couldn't stop the pain I felt in my spine or the burning hot sensation taking over my face. The shaking and the weeping consumed me, and with that, the rest of the day becomes one big blur in my memory. But now we can flash forward a few days, to the day of my father's service. There was so much that went on that day that it would be impossible to share it all with you. So I've decided to pick up at the most meaningful part of the day, and probably the most meaningful part of my life. I found myself standing at the pulpit of our church, very similar to this one right here. And it went a little something like this. "And the one who was seated on the throne said, 'See, I am making all things new.' Also he said, 'Write this, for these words are trustworthy and true.' Then he said to me, 'It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty I will give water as a gift from the spring of the water of life. To those who conquer will inherit these things, and I will be their God, and they will be my children.'" The word of the Lord. I finished my reading, paused, and slowly lifted my head. Just a single tear exuded from my eye as they met the eyes of the 700 attendees of my father's funeral. Right then and there, reality hit me square in the face. My dad is gone. Never again will I see him. Never again will I see my father? Father, gone. Never again. As these words became deranged in my head, I lost all ability to think. It was as if my body was completely shutting down, but as I took one last look into the crowd, I locked eyes with the one person who probably knows me best, Audrey Brady. And I swear that she was talking to me, telling me it was all going to be okay, and that I was going to get through this. As this happened, I regained my ability to think clearly. And before I knew it, I had made my way back to my family's pew. If it wasn't for her, I probably would have passed out, or at least puked a little, so thank you, Audrey. You saved my ass like you have time and time again. But back to the story. There I was, sitting with my family, mourning the loss of everyone's favorite Ellsworth. I quickly glanced around as if I was making sure everyone was here, making sure we hadn't lost another one. As the service came to a close, I stood and took my mother's arm, and my sister took the other. With our heads held high, we slowly walked down the aisle towards the exit. Never before have I felt so important, so loved, so needed. The church was packed full, and as we stepped outside, I saw a sight I will never forget. My 5 best friends standing in a line, saying nothing, yet empowering me so tremendously. The overflow tent didn't even make a dent in the vast number of people who showed up. It was as if I was famous and they were my press, all taking note on every little move I made and every little emotion I showed. But what almost stopped my heart was what I saw as I rounded the corner. About 20 American Airlines pilots, all in uniform, staying there at the end of the long tunnel. It was as if it was all one coincidental metaphor, and I swear to this day that one of them was my father, just quietly standing in the back, unnoticed by all but me. We entered our cars and headed to our country club for the celebration of his life. The remainder of the day is a total blur in my memory. I know that the overwhelming amount of people was just too much to handle, and in the blink of an eye, my friends pulled me from the chaos of the country club, and we wandered aimlessly about the course until we found a small wooded area on the back nine. There we sat, all dressed in black, acting like the delinquents we were, and let's be honest, still are. We joked around as if nothing had happened, still relentlessly making fun of Xander, comparing the stumps we were sitting on to his massive thighs. Things seemed too normal, too comfortable. For God's sake, I was actually happy and laughing at my father's funeral. This couldn't be healthy. But then it hit me. These boys, with the ability to bring me from the depths of my sorrows to the height of my joy, showed me that life is an ever-moving being that must be obeyed. If you resist life's necessity to progress, you will only find yourself dwelling on the past. These boys, they saved my life and continue to do so every single day. Because in life, that is all you need. As cliche as it sounds, the only way to get through life's hurdles is to keep your head up and your demons down. With a positive attitude comes positive results, and Winston Churchill put it best: if you're going through hell, keep going. Thank you.
Till Stoneman's cavalry came and tore up the tracks again. In the winter of '65, we were home.